Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to the December Lower Providence Township Zoning Hearing Board. We're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we're going to start with roll call. Gary Brown. Here. Travis DeCaro is excused and absent. I'm Chris Curtis. Mark Kaburski.
Here.
Joseph Pucci.
Here.
Rusty Raymer is also excused and absent. Keith is our first solicitor this evening.
That's me.
Okay. Let's go with our statement first, Gary.
The zoning hearing board will give all interested parties an opportunity to ask questions and testify in connection with the applications being heard tonight. After a witness for the applicant completes testimony, you will be given an opportunity to ask questions of that witness. In addition, after an applicant has completed its case, you will also be given an opportunity to testify, which will require you to be sworn in as a witness. If you wish to participate in the hearing on an application, you should complete the entry of appearance form, which will be provided to you by the zoning officer, Mike Brzezinski, right here. We ask your cooperation in maintaining silence during the hearing so that both the board and the court reporter can hear the testimony of the witness. We also ask that all cell phones be turned off.
Thank you, Gary. We have 3 hearings tonight, but first, Keith wants to give an opening statement.
For the applicants here tonight, as you can count, there's only 4 board members here. So you have the option, because if it's a tie vote, it doesn't go to the runner, as they say. You lose. So there's no tiebreaker. So if you're concerned that your application might be a close call, you have the right to, in essence, push this to the next meeting if you'd like, if you're worried about that possibility of a tie. So with that, I see, Mike, you're here. You have the first case?
Yeah, no issue with regard to the 4 board members. Thank you.
Okay. So who's here on the second, the Mattioni case?
I would be, sir. John McShay, and we don't have any issue with it.
No objection?
No objection.
Perfect, thank you. And Mr. Duffy, I saw you earlier. Oh, there you are. Do you have any objection?
I just spoke with my client, and he would wish the full board be present to decide this case, since it's been a pretty complex case with several hearings. This one would be as well.
So from that perspective, is there anyone here for the township? Any objection? Does anybody have any objection for a continuance for that purpose?
Yes, I'm Jacqueline Greaser for the township. We would object. This is the 3rd hearing night that we've had for this particular application. And we previously had given a continuance to the applicant as well to attend to some family matters. And at this point, we would ask.
That was very dramatic, thank you.
So we would object.
So what do you propose that the board does? Just has the hearing, even though there's 4 and we're supposed to have 5?
No, I mean, I have to lodge the objection. Obviously, it's the applicant's right to push it for the full board. So, just for the record, the township would object.
Perfect, okay, well, thank you for that. You have anything that you want to add? I think you've already prevailed, so I don't know that you want to say much.
I haven't said anything. I just thought I'd come closer in case you guys wanted closer.
Were you going to play some music too, or?
That is beyond my skills.
So with that, I turn it over to the board for the vote on whether to continue this case or not.
How about, can we, after we hear the first case, we'll talk about that, and then we'll come back, and before we hear the second case, we'll give you a ruling on your request. Is that okay, Mr. Duffy?
Sure.
Okay. Rather than step away and come in, because I'm going to talk to the board.
Sure.
Okay?
All right,
All right,
thank you.
thank you. Okay, with that, then we're going to proceed with our first hearing, and Mark, if you could read that for us.
Sure. First application, Z-25-28, Earl Price, 3012 and a half Appledale Road, Norristown, PA, 19403. Applicant is proposing to construct a detached garage for the purposes of storage, restoration, repair, and maintenance of the applicant's personal antique and collector vehicles. The applicant is requesting relief from section 143-37.A2 for a front yard setback of 15 feet where 50 is required. The parcel ID of subject property is 43-00-00358-80-5. Subject property is located at 3012 and a half Appledale Road and is in the R2 zoning district.
Thank you, Mark. And Mr. Fury, you're here to represent the case.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm ready to proceed.
Okay.
Thank you. The applicant respectfully requests a variance from the front yard setback requirement for the construction of a detached garage for the purpose of storage, restoration, repair, and maintenance of the applicant's personal antique and collector vehicles. No business will be conducted from the garage. The garage will be for the applicant's personal use so that the applicant's antique and collector vehicles may be housed indoors and the restoration of the vehicles may occur inside the garage. There is an existing garage attached to the house for the applicant's day-to-day vehicles. The ordinance does provide for the applicant ability to have one detached garage on the property. There is an old barn on the property, which will remain, has been there for many years, be used for personal storage and a wood workshop of the applicant. No vehicles will be stored in the barn. That's a non-conforming accessory residential structure that exists, and that actually extends into the front yard as a non-conforming condition, as you'll see on the plans. Now, oftentimes, members of the board, it's difficult to establish hardship for a variance. In this case, I would submit that the hardship is fairly clear, as my clients are entitled to have the detached garage and suffer from an unnecessary hardship in the reasonable placement of the garage on the property. The property is uniquely shaped. It is a flag lot and impacted by steep slopes. The area where the setback relief is requested actually abuts the neighboring property, but is considered a front yard under the zoning ordinance definition of what constitutes a front yard for a flag or rear lot. Basically, there's a house in between my client's property and Appledale Road. So it should be noted, however, that the garage will be located quite a long distance from the road. It's over 200 feet. And because of the configuration of the lots and the significant slope of the lot in front of the subject property, the garage will be significantly shielded from view from the street. The placement of the garage is in a location so as to be accessed by the existing driveway and minimize the addition of impervious coverage on the lot. And even though we will still be in compliance with the impervious coverage limit, I would suggest that the advantage to the township and surrounding properties from our applying for zoning relief, as opposed to being in a position just to pull a permit where we could reasonably place the garage in a conforming location, is that the board can impose reasonable conditions on the grant of the variance, such as controlling any additional stormwater to the satisfaction of the township engineer. We meet all the other zoning requirements for the garage with no adverse impact on the neighborhood, and the closest neighbors to the proposed garage, who may be impacted, have signed letters of support. So I handed up to the board for your consideration a packet. Exhibit 1 has the application narrative. 2 is the deed to my clients, establishing standing. 3 is a tax map, which shows the configuration of the lot in relation to the other lots. 4 is a site plan. There's a expanded site plan under tab 4, and the exact same site plan is also provided in a much larger size with your packet, but that's also exhibit 4. 5 of the building plans showing you the garage that's going to be constructed. 6 are property photographs showing you the location of where the garage is proposed to be placed. The CV of our civil engineer, Paul DiFiore, is here, and his is number 7. And then number 8, you'll see we've marked up a tax map showing with dots the properties that Mr. Price is able to get around to talk with and show them his plans, and they signed letters of support, which are also attached to Exhibit 8. So with your permission, Mr. Chairman, I'd like the 2 witnesses to be sworn.
Thank you. Paula will swear in the witnesses.
Paul DiFiore, D-E-F-I-O-R-E.
Earl Price. E-A-R-L, P-R-I-C-E.
Thank you. Please raise your right hand, gentlemen. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
And if you guys speak or testify, just please pull the microphone closer to you so we can have that, because this will be taped, or is being taped for,
And you're welcome to take it out of the cradle if it makes it easier.
whatever you prefer.
Oh, I'm not a singer, no.
Well, you had music earlier. You could have showed us.
Maybe.
Well, before we start, Michael, I always sort of have a little bugaboo about when one person who owns the property applies, but the other person doesn't. Is Mrs. Price here?
She is, and she joins in the application.
Perfect. Thank you very much. So we can amend the application to reflect that it's both of you who are applying for this
Please,
relief.
thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, so Earl, the deed to the property, that's marked as property, the exhibit number 2, and that's the deed into you and your wife?
Yes.
So you both own the property and you have standing?
Yes.
Is that correct? And then under tab 3 is a tax map which showing the configuration of your property, and actually, it's a fairly uniquely shaped lot, and it's a flag lot that's behind other houses that are fronting on.
You want to answer the question for him? I mean, you're leading him down the path. Do you want to ask him a direct examination question? I'm sorry to jam you up, Mike, but I mean, I know you want to move this thing along, and we want you
Yeah.
to as well, but let's just ask him some direct questions.
Sure. So with regard to reviewing Exhibit 3 on the tax map, can you describe the property, the configuration, and the properties that are up on Appledale Road next to you?
Yes, so 3012 and a half, and you probably wonder about the half part. So we moved into this location, I think, 2003. And we, at the time, did not have our driveway. It was off Sunnyside. This lot belonged to Miss Dobbs. If anybody was around that knew her, it was a big farm, and they subdivided, and this is how we came to this. And we used to use the Sunnyside Drive, which up on the far left of the plot was her son, who now the McCranes live there. So now we have the 3012 and a half because of the 3012 and 3014. I just asked the township if we could have the half, and they said yes, and that's how our mail's delivered. But it's a considerable downslope from the driveway down to our property, and the proposed location for the barn realistically is about the only flat part of the property that it would really go for.
And you refer to barn, you meant the garage?
I mean garage, yes, the garage. And to be able to put it in the backyard, there's just so much slope that would have to dig up half a hill to place it, and also get a variance in the back, I suppose. I'm not sure. But
So with regard to the history of the property, when did you build your house?
so the original house, we tore down and built a house in the backyard, and that was back in 2011, I believe it was. And the barn that's there on the lot, supposedly, what we understood, Miss Dobbs owned all the property, and the property was actually up over on Middle School Road somewhere, and they moved it stone by stone and brought it back to the property. So it's a pretty unique piece of property. We like it. It's 2.5 acres. It's kind of quiet. The dog loves it. She loves to chase squirrels.
Let me reference you to Exhibit 6, and maybe you could just run through the property photographs with the board, and then we'll come back and you can explain the building plans on tab 5. Just look at tab 6 first, and let's go through the photographs.
So the first photograph is coming down off of Appledale Road, and then halfway down, taking a right, as you can see on the plans, that's where the proposed location for the garage will be. And on the right side of that, you can see where it's cut out. The neighbors, the property line is right there, and it just runs all the way up the hill. And as Mike has mentioned, it's quite a downslope, so you really can't see much from the road. You know, during the wintertime, you can see a little bit.
So just to be clear, so the first photograph shows your house on the left side.
The left side.
The
yeah.
old barn.
The
is
old barn.
located there, and then
Yes.
the garage would go right there where there's a difference in color in the ground, right?
Correct.
Where the-
That's it. Yes.
Right, okay.
Yes.
So go ahead and look at the second picture. This is the a photograph from the other aspect towards the driveway in the same area where the garage will go. Is that correct?
That is correct. That's coming out of the existing house garage and looking out. And you can see the driveway goes up. And then the houses that are neighboring Appledale would be the backside or the side portion of the garage.
And that takes us to the third picture, and that is taken from your driveway, and that shows the area where the garage is going to go, and then shows the properties up on Appledale. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct, yes.
And then the fourth picture shows, again, same area where the garage is going to go. The barn is to the left, and then the house up on Appledale. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes, sir.
Okay. So explain your antique and car collection.
Oh, gosh. I guess one of my prizes is I have a 87 Grand Wagoneer that I rebuilt from the ground up, and pretty much interior is almost complete. I just have to do some body work and paint. I restored if anybody knows the French cars, a 77 Peugeot 504 sedan diesel. Rebuilt that. If anybody's familiar with rebuilding engines on tractors, they have sleeves in them, and that was quite a chore. And I have two CJ5s that I've started off the frame restorations. And then I have in my garage at the house now, a 79 Corvette off the frame restoration. And it's completely finished to the frame. Everything's back on the frame. I just had to do some more fiberglass work. And then looking for a nice warm place to finish it up.
So the proposed garages for your antique and collector cars.
Yes.
How many car garages do you have attached to the house?
It's a two-car garage.
So that's for your personal vehicles, your day-to-day
Correct.
vehicles. Is that correct? And with regard to the barn, what we use that for? First of all, I represented to the board that there'll be no vehicles in the barn. Is that accurate?
Yeah, that's correct. No, it's a storage. It's, rototillers, lawnmowers, tools. My granddad was a carpenter, and I did a lot of carpenter work, and that's what I want to continue to do. So that's going to be a woodworking shop.
Can I ask before we proceed, is that for your personal use, or is it a business?
No business. No, I did 20 years in the service and 45 in a civilian. I don't want to work for anybody anymore, or I just want to retire and have fun.
Got it.
You are
Thank you.
retired, is that correct?
I am retired,
All right, very good.
yes.
So you would agree to a condition, I presume, right, Michael, that it would not be used for a business purpose?
Absolutely. Neither of those buildings, the new garage or the barn, will be used for a business.
What about residential?
Yeah, no, there'll be no
No living space?
no living space, no living accommodation, no overnight accommodations in either of the structures.
Good.
Plumbing?
Do you plan to have plumbing?
I have, I would like to, but I'm not sure if.
You talked about a French car earlier. You're not going to have a bidet in there, are you?
We already have one.
But it would just be, the water, the water service would just be to the garage, is that correct?
Yes,
And it
correct.
would be the new garage?
Yes.
And it would just be for whatever you need to service the
Correct,
vehicles
for like
or
cleanups or maybe a propane tank with a heater or
wash
something.
hands or something like that?
Yes.
Okay. So we can surely limit the water service to those uses. In other words, other than running the water to a sink or something like that.
Correct.
You wouldn't have.
I love the eye contact, Michael, but we can't hear you because you're not speaking into the
I'm sorry.
microphone.
You wouldn't have then a bathroom or anything like
No,
that?
it's-
Right, okay.
no.
So we just indicate no lavatory facilities or those types of things.
Okay, thank you for allowing the interruption. You go ahead.
Absolutely, no, thank you. So just explain the existing driveway and how it relates to where you'd like to put the garage.
Well, like I said, it comes off of Appledale and it just runs right into the living quarters area. And the garage would be just off to the right of it as you come in.
So you would not have to extend the garage if you wanted to put the garage in some other location in the property. You'd have to extend the driveway. Here, you could just use
Yes,
the same
correct.
driveway.
Yes. If I had to put it in the backyard, it would take a tremendous amount of digging into the hillside, and then placing it in the backyard. And then it would be like a road right next to our pool.
You went around to the neighboring properties to ask for support, and that's under tab number 8. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and you showed them the plans and explained to them your project, and they signed support, and these are all the properties that are most closely located next to the
Yes,
proposed
correct.
garage. Is that correct?
Yes, off to the right, if you're looking at the 3012, we're 3012 and a half, 3014, 16 and 18. The other two I've never got a hold of. And then the one behind us, that's Sunnyside 727. And that borders the whole back side of our property.
Thank you. Those are the questions I have of the applicant. I would like to call the civil engineer for a few minutes.
Okay. Proceed.
Okay, thank you. Paul, your CV is attached as Exhibit 7, is that correct?
That's correct.
Could you just review briefly your education experience and licensure with the board?
Sure. I received my undergraduate and master's degree in civil engineering from Villanova University. I have 21 years of experience in civil engineering design, and I have a professional engineer license in Pennsylvania.
May I ask the board to recognize Mr. DiFiore as an expert in civil engineering?
It's a very engineering-like resume because it's very dearth of all kinds of accolades. You don't pat yourself on the back too much. You've testified before these kinds of boards in the past, I presume?
Yes.
Okay, and I haven't seen you here. I've been here for like 13 years, so you haven't had the pleasure of testifying here, have you?
Correct. I have not.
Okay. Anywhere else that we would know about that you've testified?
Let's see. Skip back. Township.
We would know that, yeah, we would know that.
I'm trying to think of the others in the past.
I'm just giving you a hard time. You're fine from my perspective.
We're good. Board's good. We approve.
Thank you very much. So, Paul, can you look at the site plan 4 and Exhibit 4 and explain the slope up to the houses in the front of the proposed garage and the elevation difference and the distance of the proposed garage from the road?
Sure. So the garage floor will be approximately 24 feet below Appledale Road. The garage will be approximately 23 and a half feet high, making the top of the garage near the same elevation of Appledale Road below the upstream home. And the distance of the proposed garage from Appledale Road will be approximately 213 feet.
Let's review the hardships attended to placing the garage elsewhere on the property. First, if we were to place the garage in any other location, like say, for example, towards the back, we would have an increase in impervious coverage in order to extend the driveway. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And explain to the board difficulties in placing the garage in the back of the property with respect to impact on trees and steep slope.
Sure. So there will be an impact to existing trees that will need to be removed, which will reduce natural water quality and stormwater volume removal through the process of evapotranspiration, which evaporates water from the tree canopy, and transpiration as water moves through the tree and later evaporated. In terms of slope, adding the driveway would require the disturbance of steep slopes, which are shown as 25% or more, for which we would need a variance to disturb. The slopes are shown with a hatch pattern on the plan.
So if we were to run a driveway, for example, to the back, we'd have to disturb steep slopes, and we'd actually need a variance in order to do that because they are in excess of 25%. Is that correct?
Correct.
So those are questions I have of the civil engineer.
Okay, thank you. Mike, do you have anything else, or can I turn it over to the board?
You please turn it over to the board. Thank you.
So what questions do you guys have?
The height of the garage itself, looks like there's two standard 10x9 overhead doors, but there's one that's also 13 foot high, and it looks like the top of the roof of that area is also, looking at it, is pretty tall as well. Is it a larger vehicle that has to come in and out of there?
I'll ask Earl to address that.
Yes, sir. Just looking forward in case if, I don't know if I had like a larger truck or something that couldn't get through. I'd like to have a larger entry. And I actually would like to put a lift in there so I could lift it up. So that's why the larger one's on the side there.
And also the higher ceiling that would be required
Correct.
in that bay.
Yes, to be able to stand under a car like myself at 6'5".
Quick question, the dimensions of the pole barn, could you build something smaller and not ask for as much of a variance? Could you go smaller?
I could go smaller, but I couldn't put the vehicles that I have in something a little bit smaller. So I'm looking at to have like lift garage, like you could put one car on top of the other, and I could put 3 of those in there. And I would like, I'll most likely purchase another couple of vehicles in the near future and sell.
Okay. Where are the current vehicles stored?
They're outside. There's
Outside?
under tarps.
Okay. Great, thank you.
Yes.
Are there other pole barns similar to the barn that, or I'm sorry, to the garage that you're proposing to construct in the area?
I have not seen any, no, sir.
If I may, Earl, so you sized the garage in order to accommodate what you have as far as antique cars and what you plan to
Yes,
use.
correct.
So that all the cars can get indoors and not be under tarps
Correct,
outside. Yeah.
correct.
And you said that you would adhere to any stormwater management that's required?
Yeah, whatever the township engineer would require, we surely do that. Is that correct?
Yes.
Any other questions?
You said in one of your statements just now, you said that you were going to get some cars and you were going to sell them.
Oh, just turn over. I mean, I'm not going to keep them all until the
Okay.
day I die, but I just like to fiddle with one and play around with it, then sell it and buy another one and restore it.
So, okay, you're going to restore these cars. Are you going to take them to the local parking lot on the Sunday night in the summertime to show off your cars? Is that the concept that you have in mind, or?
No, just drive them, sometimes a car show maybe. But
See, the whole point of the question is because we don't want people running businesses out of their houses.
no, sir. No, I
that's
am
the issue.
not anywhere thinking about running a business.
But when you sell cars, you're just getting one, you're fixing it up, you'll enjoy it for a while, and then you'll unload it and get another one
Correct.
theoretically.
Yes, sir. Just advertise it in a newspaper somewhere.
Okay.
But
Or Craigslist.
you would agree to a condition that you not use your property as a car showroom, for example, or however we were to word that?
Correct. I would not.
Okay.
All right, so there's certain parameters the code requires us to explore when you're looking for a variance, and this is under 143-168, so I'm going to ask you a series of questions, and I'm just looking for the answer. So will this installation of this new garage substantially increase traffic congestion in the streets surrounding the site, do you think?
No, sir.
Will it increase the risk of fire or panic or otherwise endanger the public safety?
No, sir.
Are you going to have things like oil drums in there and gasoline or
No,
pumps
sir.
or anything? Nothing like that, okay. Is it going to overcrowd the land? And then looking at the pictures appear that this site is almost made for this concept because it's recessed. It comes off of the roadway perfectly, it seems. So is this ground already altered for that purpose, or is this just the way it was?
That's just the way it was.
Interesting, okay. Will it intrude upon the adequacy of natural light and air to adjoining properties?
No, sir.
There's a lot of space behind you, is that what you're saying? It's
Correct. Yes.
because it's a big building, so that's obviously going to impede the flow of air and light, but you're saying there's enough back there. I'm trying to see a picture here. So you have houses behind you, right? Those are the
Correct.
backs of those houses that are behind you, behind the garage, I should say, the proposed garage.
Yes, sir.
And those people have not objected to anything.
No, sir.
Okay. Create extraordinary burdens on public, private, or community water systems. Are you going to have water out there?
I'd like to, yes, sir.
And do you have public water now? I believe that's circled on this
Yes,
application,
it's
right?
public water.
So are you going to run water from your house to there, or how are you going to
Matter
do
of
it?
fact, the water comes off of Appledale, runs right parallel to the driveway, so it would be probably tapped in from there.
So you're going to connect to the public water that's already running that way?
I would like to, yes, sir.
Okay. Will it overburden the public sanitary system? I suspect not, because you're not putting a bidet in there.
No.
Place undue burdens upon the police, fire, ambulance, or other emergency services. Are you having any, are you doing all this work, or is somebody else helping you with this? Or
No, I'm having
your
a
poor wife's
contractor.
going to be in there under the hood with you, too?
Well, she might help me, make lunch or something, but, or bring the wine with the bidet, I'm not sure.
Okay.
You work on your own,
Well,
Earl.
that's,
You
I
work on
think-
your own.
I work
I think
on
you
my
better
own.
quit while he's ahead.
Yeah.
Cause any risk of or danger of safety of persons or property due to the location of where you're having this garage? I mean, there's nothing that's going to have any impact, it seems to me, right?
No, sir.
Now I'm leading them, Mike, so I'm sorry about that.
I appreciate you doing it. Thank you.
Otherwise adversely affect the public health, safety, morals, or general public welfare of the community. You're not having a bodega in there, you're just having cars.
Cars.
Got it. Thank you
Can
very
I just
much.
ask a question? Do you do welding? Do you have to weld on the car?
That's
now?
the only trade I have not
There's no welding.
had. That's on my bucket list to do.
Well, that was the wrong answer. You should have quit there.
So if you were to do that, you would conform to all the appropriate fire protection, fire prevention requirements, correct?
Correct, yes, sir.
Okay, is there anyone in the audience that has any questions of the applicant? Is there anyone in the audience who would like to testify either in favor or against the applicant? Okay, are there any final questions from the board?
Mike, what's your argument? I just want to know what's the hardship. Is it the dimension of the property? Is that what it is?
It's a combination of the fact that the property is so uniquely shaped, so uniquely located in that it's a flag lot, and the fact that he's entitled to have a detached garage. In order to reasonably develop the property with the detached garage, to which he's entitled, he would need a variance to disturb the steep slopes to put the garage in the back of the lot in order to run that driveway back there. So we're in a situation where the hardship is absolutely required, and it's the minimum. It's the minimum amount. It won't affect the neighborhood. The neighbors that are most closely located near the garage have all signed support, so it won't adversely affect the neighbors. And it's the minimum that he needs in order to take advantage of the ordinance allowing him to have the detached garage in that location.
And the existing barn is, it's existing non-conforming, it's not considered to be a garage, correct, Mike?
Yes, I don't know anything different, so I'm going by what the applicant is saying.
Okay.
And the board can surely impose that condition that existing barn is not to be used for vehicles or as a garage.
Before you go, Mike, the question is on this, it's the access. How is that going to be? It's Appledale. Is that a dedicated street?
Appledale is a public street, I believe.
Dedicated
Yeah,
street.
But he has a driveway there. That's his driveway that runs, the lot runs up to Appledale along that.
So the roadway that is abutting the depressed area of earth there, that's your
Oh,
driveway?
that's his driveway, yes.
Yeah, the long L
There you
shape.
see.
The
If you
long
look at
L-shaped
the,
part.
if you look at the tax map, you see it's red. That's his lot that goes
I
out
like
to
the
Appledale.
picture. I'm very,
Yeah.
I like demonstrative pictures. So that's your driveway that runs up to your existing garages that it's attached to your house, correct?
Yes, sir.
So when you turn into the spaces that you're going to create, how far back is the garage going to be from this driveway? You know?
It'll be probably butt up right next to
Okay,
it.
so you'll just turn right into your garage from that
Yes, sir.
space? Okay.
No, I answered it.
just ask for our exhibits to be admitted, and if the board has any other questions after you deliberate, feel free to.
Yep, so Keith, can you do your housekeeping?
Yes, I can. Tina, you're doing it for me here. All right, so what we're going to do is, there's something called due process. What does that mean? It means that notice and the right to be heard is part of due process, so people are notified of your application. This is a certificate of posting that says that your property was posted with notice of the application that you filed with the township to get a variance. Do you have any objection to us including that as board exhibit number 1?
No objection.
Next item is the letter that would have been sent to people within 500 feet of your building, of your house, to demonstrate that they've been notified of the application itself. Do you have any objection to us marking that as board exhibit 2?
No objection.
Next item is the mailing matrix, which is now your Christmas card list that you will utilize in the future. That's going to be marked as B3 because it's the folks who would have been the addressees on that letter. Any objection to that being B3?
No objection.
Next is the certificate of notification, which means that that letter that we saw as B2 that had the addresses that were from B3 was sent to those folks, and this is a certification of that notification, and we'll mark it as B4. Any objection?
No objection.
And then the last but not least is we never get the advertisement proof of publication until after the hearing. So we're going to append that to the record as long as you don't have any objection to doing so.
No objection to that either. Thank you, Mr. Solicitor.
Thank you very much.
Okay, then with that, we're going to pause the meeting and we're going to go back and deliberate. We'll be back shortly.
Thank you.
Okay, Joe, I believe you have a motion for us?
I do, Chris. For the application of Earl Price, docket Z-25-28, for a variance from section 143-37A2 of the Lower Providence Township zoning ordinance to permit the construction of a detached garage with a 15-foot front yard setback where a minimum of 50 feet is required in the R2 residential district is granted, subject to the following conditions. 1, construction placement shall be as per the application testimony, plans, and exhibits introduced into evidence in this case, as are consistent with other applicable regulations. 2, no residential living space. 3, no business to be conducted in or from the space.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? None. Congratulations. Good luck with your garage.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, now, as I stated prior to starting the first hearing, we were going to rule on the request by Mr. Duffy. But first, Keith has...
Patrick, question for you. I presume that your request is premised upon the fact that the time constraints of the MPC are being extended as well, correct?
Correct, absolutely.
All right, perfect, thank you.
Okay, with that, then I'm going to make a motion to defer hearing Z-25-13 HT Associates LLC to the January 22nd Lower Providence Township Zoning Hearing Board meeting, at which time we should have a full board to represent and hear that case.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so we will see everyone on January 22nd.
22nd.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
You too, thanks.
Okay, with that, we're going to move to hearing number 2, and Joe, you're going to read that for us.
Thank you. Hearing number 2, Z-25-27, Mattioni Services, 202 West Euclid Avenue, Downingtown, PA 19335. The applicant is proposing to install 3 wall signs and replace the freestanding sign on the property. The applicant is requesting relief from section 143-141E2 to permit a wall sign to be 140 square feet, where the maximum size permitted is 32 square feet, and relief from section 143-141E1 to permit 2 wall signs on the Trooper Road frontage and a total of 3 wall signs on the building, where 1 sign per tenant per street frontage and a maximum of 2 wall signs per tenant is permitted. The parcel ID of the subject property is 43-15100-00-4. The subject property is located at 1217 South Trooper Road and is in the HC Highway Commercial Zoning District.
Thank you, Joe. Mr. McShay? take it?
Yes.
Okay, floor is yours.
Sure, thank you. Good evening. My name is John McShay from East Burn and Gray. I represent the applicant, Mattione Services, who is the tenant of the property at 1217 South Trooper Road. It's owned by an entity called Trooper LLC. Both that LLC and Mattione Services are owned by, have common ownership. The applicant is a plumbing and HVAC company which is providing both commercial services to its customers and training for HVAC professionals at this property. As noted, the property is located in the Highway Commercial District. It is located along Trooper Road and uniquely directly adjacent to Route 422. The entrance ramp, if you're traveling on South Trooper Road, the entrance ramp to 422 West is directly after you pass this property to the south. You may be aware the property is sat vacant for several years, and Mattione believes it is kind of an ideal location for its business and is hoping to really thrive here in the township. As noted, the applicant is seeking 3 variants related to its proposed wall signage on the building. The first is for the number of signs. They're proposing 3 wall signs in total, with 2 along the Trooper Road frontage, and then a third to the rear of the building. You can't see it from Trooper Road, but you can see it from, if you're traveling on 422 East, you can see that side of the building. The 2 signs on facing Trooper Road, one is a Mattione plumbing, heating, and cooling sign, and then there's a second sign for the training center, and we'll show you the proposed sign plan where you can see that. And then the third wall sign on the rear of the building, that is another Mattione plumbing, heating, and cooling sign. The other 2 variances are related to size of the wall signs. In particular, the one Mattione sign facing Trooper Road is proposed to be 110 square feet, where the maximum is 32 square feet. And then the Mattione sign on the rear of the building facing 422 is proposed to be 140 square feet. Again, the maximum sign 32 square feet. And my understanding is when the township adopted the sign regulations, there was some conversation by the board at that time, recognizing that the maximum size of 32 square feet might, in some instances, require variances where necessary, and I think this is one of those cases where it is necessary. Michael Mattione is here with me tonight. He is the owner of the Mattione Plumbing Business Company and also managing member of the LLC, which owns the property. And also with us tonight is Matthew Hammond. He's a traffic engineer, and he'll provide you with some analysis, his analysis of the proposed signage, and based upon the features of the property and the surrounding roadways. So I'd ask that my witnesses be sworn. I also have some pre-marked exhibit booklets I can hand up now.
Okay.
Sure.
Paul?
Sure, Matthew Hammond, Hammond.
Michael, Michael, Mattione, Mattioni.
I do.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. And same thing as last meeting, if, or when you testify, if you could just pull the microphone close to you so we can hear for our audience.
All right, Michael. Before we get going, I handed you an exhibit booklet, same that I passed out to the board. If you look just first behind tab 1, we'll call that exhibit A1. That's a copy of the deed to, by which Trooper Road LLC acquired the property, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and then behind tab 2, is that a copy of the lease agreement between Trooper Road LLC and the applicant Mattioni Services Incorporated?
Yes.
Okay, so the applicant does have standing to proceed with this application. With that out of the way,
Has standing, but does have permission.
excuse me?
It has standing, but is he going to allow himself to put signs on his building?
I think I decided to do so, yes.
Good.
Terrific, good answer, Michael. All right, so Mike, with that out of the way, could you just introduce yourself to the board and give them a sense of the Mattioni plumbing business?
Sure. Yeah, so my name is Mike Mattioni. I am the owner of Mattioni Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. I'm the third generation. We've been around since 1948. We've solely located out of our Downingtown, Pennsylvania location. Due to some physical restriction space, we decided we'd either need to move locations or expand into a second property. And through some strategic reasons, which I'm happy to share, we decided it made more sense to buy a second location. As of presently, we're now occupying both our Downingtown and operating out of our Downingtown location, as well as this location that we're speaking about this evening.
And could you just give an overview of the type of services you're providing at the Trooper Road location?
Sure. Yeah, Trooper, we do plumbing, heating, and air conditioning. We also have what we refer to as an underground division. We focus on residential maintenance service replacement. So if inside your home you own a heater or a toilet or whatever it may be in those spaces, we'll either maintain it, we'll fix it, or we'll replace it for you. That's predominantly where we live, and that's that space. So, you know, as I'm sure maybe some of you have heard, this is more my everyday thing for me, but there's a labor shortage out there in the workforce. So something I'm super proud of that we've done in our business is we've created an internal training school. So we now also, as well as our plumbing, heating, and air conditioning service and replacement business, we now have a fully operating school within our facility as well. So we will be able to take individuals with no experience in the trade, and within a 4-month, fully fledged and focused dedicated training program, get them to ride solo in their own service vehicle, after a 4-month period. However, of course, we're very selective on the calls they run. We do a lot of like maintenance and system checks and stuff, and as they kind of get more experience, they develop from there, which was, one of the drivers of why we needed to expand into this location. Predominantly, our business footprint has grown as far as our number of people and staff, but also the apprenticeship program. We've bought this facility so that we can quadruple the output of apprentices at any given time. So that is our runway vision for this property, is to service our customers and to help train our staff.
Thank you. Acquired the property in 2024. Was the property vacant at the time you purchased it?
Yeah, so I did acquire the property in 2024. It was December 23rd, so just barely snuck it into 2024. Yeah, the property, from my understanding, has sat vacant since 2020.
The board knows the property because that was one of the controversial spots for a Resources for Human Development location. So you got in there, you're good to go. You don't have to worry about it anymore as far as that goes.
I'm glad there's no more controversy on the property.
You're not controversial unless you're orange and blue, and now these giant signs blind somebody going down the street.
All right, Mike, can you look at behind tab 3 of your booklet there? Is that an aerial photograph of your property?
Yes, it is.
All right, and your property is the one with the orange roof, correct? With the white lettering, you can see it says 1217 South Trooper Road. That identifies where your building is?
Correct.
All right. And does it depict the current condition of your property?
Yes.
All right, so can you just describe, the location of your property and what the surrounding uses are for the board?
Sure. So, yeah, this is a good photo to look at. So the property is under that orange colored red roof there, as you've identified. That is the primary building. That's, the sole building besides that little shed you see detached there. But that's the sole building on the property. There's an entrance, an exit that comes off of Trooper Road. But if you look back towards Pico's substation, there is, it's maybe not super clearly defined, but I do have an easement that crosses through Pico's property that takes you out to Autobahn Road, which is, it can be a little difficult getting in and out of that location with traffic. So that's super helpful easement to have. I do have a decent relationship with Pico, and they bought the property that is adjacent to Trooper Road. I guess it's on the corner of Trooper and Autobahn Road. So they bought that empty stone lot there, and from my understanding, they are expanding the substation, which you can see in this photo, to move all the way down towards Trooper Road. So they will be doubling that substation, which I'm told the work must be complete by 2030. I'm assuming you may know more about it than I do, but this is, I don't want to speak on Pico's behalf, but that's what I've been told. So yeah, we operate the parking lot, and the building is pretty much what we use in this space.
Okay. And all improvements which are currently on the lot, they were there, they existed at the time you purchased the property?
Yeah, I've done nothing to the exterior of the property outside of cosmetic.
Okay. Next exhibit in that booklet behind tab 4, is that a photograph, of the building as it exists today, taken from Trooper Road?
Yes.
All right. And then if you keep going through your booklet, it's another photograph, call it Exhibit A5. Does that show a view of, your property from someone traveling down in a vehicle on South Trooper Road?
Yes.
Okay. And immediately beyond your property, is that an entrance onto, 422 West?
Correct.
All right. So we're obviously here to discuss the signage you're proposing for the building. Behind tab 6, we'll call it Exhibit A6. Is that a copy of, your proposed signage for the building?
Yeah, well, that was a question? Yeah.
Yes, it is. Okay.
Yeah, that is correct.
All right, so we're looking at that first sheet of the exhibit. That's showing the front of the building, which faces onto Trooper Road, correct?
Correct.
All right, so there's 2 wall signs. There are 2 that we're talking about here tonight. The first is on the left-hand side of the building. Do you know what the size of that sign is? The one that says Mattioni Heating and Cooling, Plumbing, Heating, Cooling. Is that the 110 square foot sign?
Yeah, I mean, based on how it's labeled.
Yep.
Yeah, then yes.
And then you're proposing that second wall sign on the right-hand side where it states the Apprentice Training Center, right?
Correct.
Okay. Let's turn to that second page of the exhibit. Is this, is this showing what the rear of the building with signage facing 422?
Yes, that's what's
Okay.
proposed.
And that Mattioni sign we're looking at, that's proposed to be 140 square feet, is that right?
Yes.
All right. And if you can keep flipping through, you're also going to have on page 3, that shows a freestanding sign which will be located on the lot as well. Is that right?
Correct.
And that freestanding sign, is that going to be in the exact same location as the sign that existed prior to you acquiring the property?
Yes.
All right. Can you just explain to the board why it is you're proposing the signage for the building and requesting the variances that are part of this application?
Sure. Yeah. And so there was two primary things that drew me to the property. The first and foremost was the access to highways. None of my work truly transpires at my place of business, right? We are commuting to our customers' homes every day, so having access to a highway is very important. But what really drew me to this property, as I looked at many properties inside industrial parks and things of that nature, was just the visibility of the property. So the reason we are asking for the variance for the sign is because I do, while it's under officially one entity, I do operate, two different functions inside the business. One is the actual service business, and the other one is the apprentice business. And it's really important to me that I can distinguish that amongst not only customers, but, future employees or apprentices. And then the other one is, the reason I'm asking for the sign as it's proposed on the building facing 422 is because if I were to put, a sign there of normal size, you just wouldn't be able to see it. It's quite a distance away. The way 422 kind of curves around that bend, you're kind of hitting it, that angle's pretty far out. So I thought it would just look silly and be pointless to have a sign that you couldn't legibly read or understand what it was.
And just to be clear, when we're looking at the signage facing Trooper Road, that apprentice training sign, the size of that sign is compliant with the zoning ordinance. You understand that? The apprentice.
I do now. Yes, no, you've explained it. Sorry, it's trying to keep it all square. So.
Okay. And this signage is not illuminated, is it?
No, there's no plans.
Okay. So those are my questions for Mr. Mattioni. The board will have questions for you.
So just so I'm clear on the signs. So you have 3 signs on the walls, correct?
Correct.
And one is 110 square foot. The other, on the front facing Trooper is compliant.
That's 32 square foot, correct?
And then the third sign is the 140 square foot sign, and that's facing, whatever that road is.
422.
That's facing 422.
Correct.
Okay. And then the freestanding sign is 50 square feet. It's 10 feet wide, and I see a dimension in blue on the document you gave us that says 5 feet.
I'm not exactly sure. We're not asking for relief for that sign. It was reviewed by the township back in August, and they didn't note any relief, but we do have the sign engineer. He might be able to testify to that. He's not here with us tonight. You're correct. It is 50 square feet.
Okay. And Mike, you concur that that's compliant? Mike Merzinski?
Yeah, I believe it is. I did do a review several months ago, so I'm not conversant with it, but I believe that's true.
Yeah. And I'm just asking because like, if we, as we consider your request, and if we grant your request, I want to make sure we grant what you're asking for and don't make you come back.
I understand. We're not asking for any relief for the freestanding sign, so to the extent that I'm incorrect, and it did need relief, we wouldn't be,
Okay, so
we would have to come back. But
we're solely looking at the signage that's on the building.
on the wall signs, yes, correct, sir.
Okay.
And it's really only, it's not the apprentice sign, it's just the.
I can't hear you, Mark. Are you turned on?
So it's not the apprentice training center sign. That one's compliant. So you're not asking for anything on that. It's really the Mattioni signs that you're asking for.
It's compliant with the size.
Size, but not the number.
size, Yeah.
So you can only have two wall signs. You have 3, and 2 of them are larger than code permits.
That's correct,
Okay.
yes.
Got it.
Leave it to an engineer to sum it up like that, Chris. Well done.
In spite of your comment before about the other engineer.
Well, he just had a very thin resume. Then Mr. Hammond, he's got a robust one. I mean, he's bragging about himself. That's good.
All right, I think we're good on the signage.
Okay,
The number of signs.
understood. Okay. So my next witness would be Mr. Hammond, and he'll provide some analysis from the traffic aspect.
And do we need to establish him as a qualified witness, Keith?
I would be offering him as an expert in traffic engineering.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen his resume, and I'm sure you've testified in these places before, correct?
That is correct, sir.
Have you testified here before? I don't remember seeing you.
I don't know if I've testified in front of the zoning hearing board, but I've testified in front of the Board of Supervisors on numerous occasions.
Okay, great.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you, and I don't want to brag any more about myself, so,
You did a good job in your resume.
thank you.
Okay, Matt, we're familiar with the property that we're discussing here tonight?
I am.
Okay, and are you familiar with the proposed signage as shown in Exhibit A6?
Yes, I am.
Okay, and did you prepare a report here for the board tonight regarding the property and the proposed signage?
I did.
All right, and is that report located at Exhibit A8 behind tab 8 in that booklet?
That is correct. Exhibit A8 dated December 17th, 2025, in regards to a signage analysis for Manioni Services, Inc.
Okay. And can you explain for the board, the findings, conclusions, and your analysis included within this report?
Sure. So as a traffic engineer, one of the things that, in addition to roadway improvements, driveways, traffic signals, and the like, one of the things that we do look at and do take into consideration is signage. Signage has, the size and location of signage has a direct relationship to the number of lanes on a roadway, the speed of travel, geometry. So it's something that, again, as traffic engineers, we definitely look at. We want to make sure that the location and the size of the signs are appropriate. There are two types of trips that you normally see at properties, especially commercial properties. They're planned or impulse trips. Obviously, a planned trip is someone that knows where they're going, and an impulse trip is somebody that more so for more of a commercial type use is kind of knows generally where they're going, but needs a little bit of help when they get closer to determine, how to access the property. Some of the research out there has shown that, there's a certain amount of time that's needed, the perception reaction time for someone to actually perceive a sign and make the appropriate maneuvers in order to get into the property, whether it's the driveway or in the vicinity of the property. And based on that, and taking that into account, you look at the speed of travel on the roadway as well as the number of lanes. And through research, we determine what we think the appropriate size of a sign should be based on a number of factors. The analysis contained in Exhibit A8 talks about those various research factors and some of the things that we took into account. And based on that, our analysis said that the desirable size of the wall sign facing Trooper Road was approximately 100 square feet. That's based on the posted speed of South Trooper Road's 45 miles an hour. But in reality, vehicles are traveling in excess of 50 miles an hour through that area. As far as the signage facing 422, the posted speed on 422 is 55 miles an hour, but conservatively assumed it was 60 miles an hour. And based on that, it would, the desirable size of the sign would be about 144 square feet, where we're proposing 140. Now, obviously, based on that analysis and based on that research, we're saying that the sign on Trooper Road that we're seeking relief for, the desirable size would be 100 feet, and we're proposing 110 feet. And a lot of the reason behind that is the fact that
The colors are so muted on the building. That's the reason for it, right?
correct. You can't see the building at all. But a lot of the reason for that is the geometry and the lane configuration in that immediate vicinity. There's a lot going on. You have a 7-lane cross-section on South Trooper Road in that area. You have a property that's directly adjacent to the 422 ramps. There's a lot of decisions that need to be made in that area. We want to make sure that the sign is the appropriate size in order to inform the motorists who are looking to access the property, inform them in advance in order for them to make those maneuvers in and out of the driveways. And again, as Mr. Mattioni had stated, there are 2 access points, one on South Trooper Road and then one through an access easement on Audubon Road. On the 422 side, the size of that sign, again, we estimated the desirable size to be about 144 square feet, or 140 square feet is being proposed. We want to make sure that there's enough visibility of that sign for motorists to be able to make their maneuvers if they're desiring to access the property. And again, as Mr. Mattione had stated, when you're coming in the eastbound direction on Route 422, there is a curve in the road that as you come around that curve, you can see the
How do
property
you get there?
up on the hill, but how do you get there? And one of the things that's also important is the fact that in order for you to determine that's where the property is and that's where I'm going, you need to have enough time to react to get into the deceleration lane, to get off the ramp, to get on the South Trooper Road. And that ramp is hundreds of feet further.
I was gonna say, because that
Further
ramp is
away.
not in close proximity to the building, is it?
Correct. But you have to, if you're traveling eastbound on 422 at a speed of 60, 65 miles an hour, you need to be able to see that sign in order to get over, get into the deceleration lane, get off the ramp, in time such that you're not making any abrupt maneuvers on Route 422. So in a perfect world, I truly believe the sign could be a little bit larger on the 422 side. But I do understand there's a balance between not only ordinances, but sign clutter and just the overall size of signs. So with that said, again, I think that the two signs that are being provided are appropriate. As far as the number of signs, again, I think due to the fact that there are two distinct uses on the property, obviously the heating and services as well as the apprenticeship, I feel that having the two signs on the front of the building will also help distinguish between those two uses, especially for those people that aren't familiar with getting to and from the property. And I would also note that obviously the building has four sides. Two sides of the building will not have signage. Two sides will. It's also very similar to the Taco Bell that's across the street on the Autobahn, where Taco Bell has signage on three sides of that building. So they have three signs, three sides. We're proposing three signs, two sides. But again, the difference between the Taco Bell use and our use is that Taco Bell has one predominant use where we're proposing two specific uses.
And the signs themselves, they're going to be painted? Painted signs? Or
I think they're going to be vinyl signs. They're not going to be illuminated, but
it's not going to be like a box with, it's going to stick out. It's going to be.
You want to invite your sign guy to the party here, because he's back there making all kinds of genuflex and imaginations, and he wants to get into this. So you have to be sworn and tell us all about this.
John, John, Hannum, Hannum.
Yeah, so the sign itself, it's going to be affixed to the building, painted vinyl, like.
Yeah, it'll be a flat sign. It won't be a cabinet or illuminated or a box or anything. It'll be thin.
And no lights shining on it?
No lights, nope.
So it's just going to be paint, kind of like, it's just not going to be orange and blue.
Yeah, it's just gonna be a fish and the letters.
It's going to be consistent with their color scheme, it seems to me.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, okay, all right.
And why the fish?
Yeah, this is a very important part. No, understand it. It was a joke. But yeah, we were initially just a plumbing business. My grandfather started it, and when my dad and my uncles ran it, we were only plumbing. The business is in Downingtown, located on a farm, and we have cows, and we were kind of known.
So why not a cow?
Exactly, that was the question. So we were known as the plumbers with the cow. However, we thought that was limiting outside the immediate space
I
of.
think Chick-fil-A got that one.
I know they stole it, so we went after Nemo. I guess we.
But the important thing is the signage, it's consistent with what you have on your vehicles. It's nothing different.
100% correct. Yeah, it's.
You're doing a great
so-
branding job, yes.
Yeah. So initially, I hired a company to create the signs for the building. Was the same company I hired to brand the company. I submitted it to Mike. That's where a few things got flagged, and then I kind of partnered up with John, and he greatly reduced my aspirations on signs. So the sign company, the initial, I've educated myself since.
John knows.
Yeah.
There's a saying about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what we have for you guys. So I'd ask that my exhibits be put into the record.
We'll do that at the end. Do you guys have any questions?
I think Mr. Merzinski has a question.
Sorry.
Excuse me, thank you. More a statement. In the interim, I have had a chance to review the sign ordinance for the size of the freestanding sign, and 50 feet is the maximum allowed for that district, so they are compliant.
Well done, Mr. Sign.
Thanks, Mike. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, any questions from the board? Okay, well, is there anyone in the audience who has any questions of the applicant? Or anyone in the audience who would like to testify one way or another?
Mr. Mattione, did you approach your neighbors? Pico doesn't have a problem, right?
No, Pico does not have a problem.
The church across the street doesn't have a problem?
Did not specifically ask the church across the street. I've also not specifically spoken to Mr. Pico. I spoke
Not
to one of them.
Taco Bell?
No, we've had a friendly relationship with Taco Bell.
That means you eat there, I'm sure.
To be honest, I've never eaten at Taco Bell, but one of
Don't
these
put that on
days
the
I
record,
can
you're gonna have a
eat
problem.
Okay, well, with that, then, Keith,
We're on.
why don't you do the housekeeping?
Tina, you're way ahead of me, as always. All right, Mr. McShay, we're doing this, as you saw before and as you know. Certificate of posting that the property was posted, we'll mark that as B1. Any objection to that being introduced as B1 into the record?
No objection.
2 is the letter that would have been sent to people within 500 feet, and obviously there's a few people in the audience, but not many. I don't see any of them here with their pitchforks and their torches, so I think you're in good shape there. The notice was sent out to the people within 500 feet. Any objection to that being B2?
No objection.
B3 is the mailing matrix. No objection to that, I presume, is B3?
No objection.
Next item, of course, is the certificate of notification, meaning that the letter was sent to those people on the mailing matrix. Any objection to that being marked as B4?
No objection.
And as we said earlier in the previous hearing that you were here to witness, the proof of publication doesn't come in time, so we're going to append that to the record. If you have no objection to that as B5.
I will have no objection.
And your exhibits, I see there's no one here to object to them, so you're good to go. And thank you for presenting that. These are very helpful when you do it this way, so thank you.
Absolutely.
Okay, with that, we're going to pause the meeting and reconvene after we deliberate.
Thank you.
Okay, we have 3 motions, and Gary's going to make those.
Okay, the application of Mattione Services, Inc., docket number Z-25-27, for a variance from section 143, section 141, section 3, section E, section 2 of the Lower Providence Township zoning ordinance to permit the installation of a wall sign facing Trooper Road of 110 square feet, where 32 square feet is permitted in the Highway Commercial District is granted. Subject to the following conditions, placement shall be as per the application, testimony, plans, and exhibits introduced into evidence in this case as are consistent with other applicable regulations.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None? The second one?
All right, the application of Mattione Services, Inc., docket number Z-25-27 for a variance from section 143, section 141, section 3, section E, section 2 of the Lower Providence Township zoning ordinance to permit the installation of a wall sign facing US 422 of 140 square feet, where 32 square feet is permitted in the Highway Commercial District is granted, subject to the following conditions. Placement shall be as per the application, testimony, plans, and exhibits introduced into evidence in this case as are consistent with other applicable regulations.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? Number 3?
The application of Mattione Services, Inc., docket number Z-25-27 for a variance from section 143, section 141, section 3, section E, section 1 of the Lower Providence
Poor
Township.
Paula over here. She's trying to keep up with you, Gary.
Sorry. The Lower Providence Township to permit the installation of 2 wall signs on the building's Trooper Road frontage and a total of 3 wall signs on the building where 1 sign per tenant per street frontage is permitted and a maximum of 2 wall signs per tenant is permitted in the highway commercial district is granted, subject to the following conditions. Placement shall be as per the application, testimony, plans, and exhibits introduced into evidence in this case, as are consistent with other applicable regulations.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? Congratulations. Good luck with your business.
Thank you, gentlemen, much appreciated.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, with that, that concludes our meeting this evening. So everyone have a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah, and we will see you on January 22nd for the next meeting. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we'll see you. Thank you.
Thank you.